Welcome to another edition of Islanders Insider. I'm Stephen King. We come to you from the locker room once again this week. I guess it's a postseason edition of Islanders Insider as both men's and women's basketball teams prepare for the Southland Conference Tournament. We're going to talk some women's basketball with Royce Chadwick a bit later, but let's start things off right now with the head coach, Coach Willis Wilson of Islanders Men's. How you doing, sir?
Doing well.
Well, congratulations, first and foremost to you and the entire program for not only returning to the Southland Conference Tournament, but coming in as the number 2 seed in the process. Now, you did so by holding serve and winning the last 7 straight contests to do it. Stiff competition it was. You know, there was a point this season that when things weren't really going exceptionally well. Can you pinpoint a particular moment that might have been the turning point when things came together?
No, I don't think there really was one thing that we could touch on other than maybe the phrase adversity comes to mind. It's something that we talked a lot about in the summer on our foreign tour coming into the season, that this was a basketball team that was going to have to learn how to deal with a lot of different types of adversity that we hadn't experienced before. Losing obviously creates adversity. We went through that earlier in the year, but as we got into conference play and got some wins under our belt, the dynamics and dimensions of how we needed to move forward changed, and learning how to bounce back and learning how to stay focused on the task at hand was a challenge with our team. The other word that comes to mind is maturity. We talked a lot about what we needed to do to become a mature basketball team, and so learning to focus on who we are, what we do, how we want to do it each day. We've used that phrase, and we've talked about it, the character, toughness, and talent being where you're supposed to be doing the things you're supposed to be doing when you're supposed to be doing. Grinding for success is the toughness part, and I think that portion of the season where we hit some bumps in the road, I think that's where our guys really learned how to grind with a purpose and try to become better. And then the other aspect of that is the talent part, giving back. I think this has been a basketball team over the last 7 games that's really learned how to share with each other and give back, share responsibility, share burden, share the fruits of our labor, just on a lot of different levels. Learning how to be a team, how to be one.
Well, the tournament is coming up this week, and I don't think it can be overstated about the significance of getting that 2nd seed. With that comes 2 byes in the bracket. You come in the semifinals. I wanted to ask you this. I mean, at this time of year, is the extra rest you get leading into those games that significant?
This is March Madness. They call it March Madness for a reason, because anything can happen. You have to kind of expect the unexpected. But in our case, we earned the right to have the double bye and to begin our play in the semifinals. Will the rest pay off? The rest pays off if you win. If you don't win, it doesn't pay off. I think the thing that's most significant for us is to feel good about who we are and where we are. Not so much in the sense that we should give ourselves a pat on the back, but in the sense that we've earned everything that we've gotten to this point. Finishing 2nd in the league, the 7-game win streak, whether it be honors for any one individual or just kind of the collective praise that you get walking around campus, all of that has been earned, but it doesn't really have a bearing on what we do going forward. What we do going forward is going to be kind of wrought out with what we do every day and keeping our eyes on the prize. The one thing that I've tried to really encourage our guys to do is embrace the finish. We have to go after it, err on the side of aggression, go after the end of this season. If we're going to get beat, let's get beat because somebody's better than we are, not because we didn't leave our best effort on the floor.
You mentioned honors just moments ago, and I need to bring it up. Of course, junior Jonathan Jordan was selected as a Southland Conference all-first-team performance. He was a preseason selection. He lived up to the hype. He is a first-team selection here in the Post. I mean, you can break down the stats to prove the point why he should be there, but it goes beyond statistics when talking about his impact, doesn't it?
It really does, and I think from a statistical standpoint, when you kind of break it down and look at it, he does so many things at such a high level. I know we had this conversation with our team at one point during the season, during that period where you talked about us struggling. John has so much ability, and we always expect and know that he's capable of doing a lot more, but when it's all said and done, the question I posed to the team was, what else do you want him to do? He's leading us in scoring. He's second in rebounds. He's first in assists. He's the Iron Man in the league, playing all the minutes. He leads us in steals, I think, at that point. And the only other thing that he could do is sweep the floor and carry the bags for guys. And I think the perspective that was gained by that was that, you know what, we all have the ability to do more. And that's one point. But the other point that I want to make about John, I think is significant about his postseason honor, is I think he'd be the first guy to tell you that it's something that's shared with the rest of the team. That when you look at the assist, the assist is the guy that passes, but the assist doesn't count unless somebody makes shots. Right. It is a thing that I think we all can feel proud about, that John is a member of our team and that he's a first ballot all conference guy. There's really no other way to say it than we all share in that sense of pride and the effort that he put in and the effort that other guys put into making that happen.
Well, this past week you picked up season sweeps against McNeese and Nichols, the two teams we faced, game 17 and game 18 in conference play. Now, in the two games, the opponents shot a combined 33% from the field. Now, even though in league play we were the tops in the offensive field goal percentage at over 50%, but isn't really the calling card for this team about the defensive effort, not the offensive effort?
You know, and it has been from day one. I think when you go back and look at some of the early games and the early losses, we lost because our defense didn't get the job done. The fact of the matter is, when the defense is good, the offense tends to take care of itself, and our defense was just okay. At times it was good, and as we say often in the locker room, good is the enemy of great. We wanted to be a great defensive team. And with a young team, it's just taken time. It's taken a time and learning from game situations and going back and preparing in practice to get ready for that next game. But I think when you look back over the last handful of games, maybe even as far back as the Lamar game, you could say that defense has been and become a hallmark of this team, and guys have really embraced the defensive mindset and the defensive attitude, and I think that's what you have to be able to be successful this time of year.
Well, Senior Day was this past week as well, and Senior Zane Knowles, Joy Williamson, they seem to have taken their game to another level in the latter part of the season, there's no doubt. Now, if we're going to win in the conference tournament, how important do these two gentlemen have to be in what they do moving forward?
Well, you know, I think in those guys' case, and even with the other seniors, with Kevin Lynch and James King, those guys invested in this team and in this program. They put some money in the bank, and now it's time to start drawing that out. And you draw it out with playing in the postseason, and you draw it out by winning games and advancing. And it's kind of that survive and advance sort of mindset. But I think those guys, and when you talk about what Zane and Joy have done in the last 4, 5, 6 games of this season, they've earned the right to be able to make that withdrawal. And so I'm hoping that it's gonna show up by paying off with additional games that we can just continue to play in the month of March and go as deep as we can. This is a team that's capable of doing that, and I think it's a team built for playing games late in the month of March. So hopefully we'll get that opportunity.
No doubt. Now, preparing for the conference tournament has its challenges. There's no doubt about that. There are 5 different potential opponents that you have to be taken into consideration. Now, do your assistants have to design detailed scouts for each one of the 5 different teams that we could be seeing on Friday?
You know, these guys, the coaching staff, Marty Gross, Mark Danhoff, Yafet King, the support staff with Colin Othier and Artie Culver, those guys have done a fabulous job with all of the things that go on around the program. And the part that you're talking about is the scouting. I don't think there is a staff in America that does a better job of scouting and preparing us for games. But the most important part of who we are this time of year, it's about what we do. Those guys will do a tremendous job of getting us ready to play, and we'll know what our assignments are on game day. But when it's all said and done, you win because of what you do. And I think our guys have kind of bought into, as we affectionately call them, the 5 O's and the 5 D's. There's 5 things that we've got to do on both sides of the ball to be successful. Our guys buy into that, and if we'll do those things on game day, we feel like we'll have the success that we deserve.
Going to be an exciting week. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
It's Willis Wilson joining us here in the locker room. When we come back, we've got a special feature that's coming your way right here on Islanders Insider. Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, we have a special feature on Islanders men's basketball scout team. A bunch of young men that are so crucial to the success of the program.
The Islanders men's basketball team wouldn't be where it is today without the members of the scout team. They've worked hard to accept their roles to contribute to the team.
Well, it's just part of the, I guess, buying into our role as like being on a team. Like me and the other guys that are on the scout team, it's just our job to kind of, like you said, emulate to the best of our ability the other teams and then just perform to our best ability, like what they're going to do.
Being on the scout team, you have to be aggressive every day, and you have to basically be perfection because you have to imitate exactly what the other team does, and like sometimes it gets you out of your game because you can't play how you play, and you have to play like someone else does. So I mean, it takes a great level of focus. But we come in every day and we just work as hard as we can to just get our team ready to play.
I feel they play a huge role, and I felt like once they decided to accept that role and started off with guys like James King and Kevin Lynch, they got guys to accept the roles of being a scout squad, and they take pride in it. So they prepare us. They take the tendencies of who we're playing against, and they prepare us well every game. It hasn't been a game this season where they didn't prepare us.
They take great pride in what they've contributed to help turn around the program.
It felt great, actually, because, at the beginning of the year, everybody was just throwing negative shots at us, like, you guys going to be the same team you were as last year. And then we all kind of just had, like, a meeting just saying, like, we're done being this, like, team. We're done having people say we're going to be this way. And, ever since then, we just been going forward.
And 4 years ago to now, it's just the change is unbelievable. And, I think we've won double the amount of games we've won the last 2 years, and then to be second place in conference coming from the bottom, so it's just extremely gratifying.
A rivalry has developed between the scout team and the starters, making every practice into a battle.
Oh yeah, and I feel like sometimes it's a lot more. It's like playing against your brothers every day. They're gonna know your tendencies, so they're gonna know what you like and don't like to do defensively and offensively.
We always have this scout team versus the starters, rivalry in the locker room, and it's just good to beat them out, and then every day in practice have that competition.
For Islanders Insider, I'm Teddy Medina. We'll be right back.
It's the countdown to Katy. Southland Conference basketball teams are fighting for a chance to play in the Merrill Center. A league title and a bid to the big dance will be on the line. The action begins March 12th. Visit southland.org/Katy or Ticketmaster.com and start your countdown to Katy.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider. It's time to talk a little Islander women's basketball with the head coach of the women's program, Coach Royce Chadwick. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Stephen.
Well, congratulations are in order for a couple different reasons today. First and foremost, congratulations on picking up wins number 17 and 18 this past week. That was your 7th and 8th in a row and securing your place in the Southland Conference Tournament. Great accomplishment, Coach.
Well, thank you. We're very excited to be sitting where we're sitting. The one thing that you want to have happen as a team is when March rolls around, you're playing your best basketball. You want to go into the tournament on a roll. You want to go into the tournament with confidence, and winning gives you that confidence. So we're sitting exactly where we want to sit. Now we got to go make something happen.
Secondly, congratulations are definitely in order as you were named the 2014 Southland Conference Women's Coach of the Year. I tell you, you were bestowed with this honor back in '97 when you were at Stephen F. Austin. You won 18 games this year, 14 more than last year. That is tied for the top turnaround in Division I women's basketball. That's just amazing. Again, congratulations.
It starts with our administration. Our administration set us up to have a good season. They gave us the opportunities that we have to create our own program. Secondly, we have outstanding assistant coaches. This award is for Roxanne White, Darren Brunson, Jeff Grawn, Jamie Duke, Danae Willis, all those people that were behind the scenes making sure that our players stayed in class, were doing what they needed to do, they got the right scouting report. There are a whole lot of people that really received this award. It's a team sport, and we're very happy to bring that attention to our team.
Well, it was well-deserved. If it was for yourself or the entire staff, it was very well-deserved, no doubt. Also, Jasmine Shaw was named the Southland Conference Newcomer of the Year. Now, when you reflect back when you first brought her in at Marshall University, did you know that she would be capable of becoming the scorer, the leader, the tough competitor that she's become?
Well, I think anytime you recruit a young lady, you recruit them on potential. You recruit them on what they've accomplished to that point, but yet you have to see where they can go. We saw a ton of potential in Jasmine, and we saw a great opportunity for her to be a legitimate Division I star. I'm just really thrilled that she had the opportunity to do it where I could watch her. And she's done a great job leading our team, done a great job of everything we've asked her to do with the basketball, setting screens, playing defense. But I think most importantly, she is an outstanding young lady. She is the kind of young lady you want your daughter to be. And so we're very excited to have that caliber of an individual in our program. And once again, we're very glad that she was able to bring some notoriety to our team.
That, and as I mentioned, the toughness, what she is showing you late in the year is really impressive.
Well, when the doctor tells you you need surgery and she said, no, I'm not having it, I'm going to finish my senior year, you tape her up, you ice her, you put heat on her, you do everything you have to do to keep her where she has a chance to go out and help your team, and she just bites down on her mouthpiece and goes and plays. That gives you a tremendous respect and admiration for the will of that young lady.
Well, going back to this past week, versus McNeese, the team you faced on Thursday, your squad led by as much as 16 in the first half, but then saw the Cowgirls kind of chip away and took the lead on a couple occasions. The last, I think, with under 4 minutes to go. Kamisha Davis, though, Jasmine Shaw, down the stretch, stepped up when they had to, made 7 of 8 free throws, and we were able to keep them at bay.
Well, we didn't play exceptionally well in the second half. I thought we gave them way too many open threes. We didn't contest everything. Our transition defense, I thought we got a little lackadaisical. I think we got to looking at the scoreboard and said, oh, well, we've got this. And you never have this in March. You don't have this until the final buzzer sounds. So hopefully we learned a lesson from that. McNeese, extremely physical basketball team. And if they are being physical and you can't respond, then they win basketball games. And I was very happy that we were able to overcome that adversity and respond down the stretch.
Bit of a flip-flop against Nichols, where the first half was more of the struggle. The second half, well, it was mind-blowing, to be honest with you. Down 19 points at one stage of the second half, you go on a 22-1 run to ultimately make the difference. And now this goes back to a statement you make all the time. Defense creates offense, and that was actually the case during this legendary run.
Well, we were rocking along and we couldn't make a basket, and everything was going McNeese's direction, and we had to do something to change it. And we have a group of individuals who sit on our baseline, who are our baseline barkers, and they got after into the game, and they really fired up our team, and then they vacated their vicinity, and I thought we started to play really well. So those people made a huge difference in our program. They made a difference in our team. Our players were so excited that somebody would be barking along with us, and it changed the whole complexion of the game. And once that happened, our press was able to kick in gear, and we made some things happen.
Well, definitely made some things happen, ultimately taking the win, and just an impressive performance. Now, Brittany Bomalu, has struggled over the last few games, last couple of games. That's fine. A good team has to have someone who steps up. Shola Adebayo led the team in scoring in both games this past week, as a matter of fact, coming off of the bench, averaging over 16 over the last 4 games, as a matter of fact. And also Alyssa Campanero, season-high 15 in the regular season finale. You have to have it, don't you, Coach?
Well, what you want at this stage of the game, and we've talked to our team all year long about somebody will step up. And when the adversity comes, somebody steps up. And we've actually had that in every single game. Somebody new steps up. That's what we need this week. We need somebody new to step up. It might be a deflection. It might be a charge. It might be a rebound. It might be a tip out, something that happens that gets us going. But I will tell you this about Brittany Bomalu. Yogi Berra once said, I'm not in a slump, I'm just not hitting. She feels she's not in a slump, she just didn't make that last one. But that girl feels like that next one's going in, and she could certainly explode on the scene and really do some things for our team in this tournament.
I don't think there's any doubt. Now, we talked about McNeese briefly. McNeese is who you open up with on Thursday at 1:30 at the Merrill Center in Katy, Texas. Now, you defeated them this past week, split the season series, each team winning at home. This is a neutral site game. What is the secret to slowing down the Cowgirls?
Well, I think you have to contest everything. They are prolific guard-oriented basketball team. They get those guards going from three-point line, now they get their drives going. Once they get their drives going, now they open up the post game. They are a very good offensive team. We have to do some things to slow them down. We have to play team schemes. We have to help the helper, and then we got to help the helper's helper. So everybody's got to play. We can't make it a one-on-one game because I think they're better than us in a one-on-one situation. We got to make them play 1-on-2, 1-on-3, and hopefully we can get it up to 1-on-5. And if we play good team defense, we have a great chance in that game.
Southland Conference Coach of the Year, Royce Chadwick.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
Stephen.
When we come back, we'll bring you up to speed on what's next for Islanders Athletics. More to come on Islanders Insider.
What's Massage Envy Spa? For me, it's healthy, it's affordable. I mean, he always wants
pain relief.
Right. And I want a healthier complexion. And now we can get a customized massage or a healthy skin facial.
At a really good price.
At a great price. And nothing feels better than that.
Customized massages and healthy skin facials, all at the perfect price. Start a healthy routine today with Massage Envy Spa.
Go, you'll see.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, we want to bring you up to speed on what's next for Islanders Athletics. Islanders basketball heads to Greater Houston for the Southland Conference Tournament this week, starting with the women taking on McNeese State at 1:30 on Thursday. The Islanders are the 6th seed, and should they defeat the Cowgirls, they would take on the 3 seed Central Arkansas on Friday at 1:30 in the second round. As for the men, they don't play until the semifinals of the Southland Conference Tournament as the number 2 seed. Their opponent will be either Sam Houston State, Oral Roberts, or McNeese State at 7:30 on Friday. Should they win that game, they would move on to the championship game, slated for Saturday at 7:30. For tickets and the latest about the Southland Conference Tournament, be sure to visit GoIslanders.com or Southland.org. Islanders baseball begins conference play this weekend as Scott Malone's squad plays host to Central Arkansas. The teams will play Friday at 7:30, Saturday at 4, and then wrap the series Sunday at 11 a.m. All games played at Chapman Field. The Islanders will then play host to UT Pan American on Tuesday, March 18th. That will be a doubleheader set to start at 2 p.m. Islanders softball hits the road this weekend for 3 games at Northwestern State. The teams will play a doubleheader on Saturday starting at 2 p.m. and then wrap their series on Sunday at noon. Stephanie Hughes' squad will then head to San Antonio on Wednesday, March 19th, as they take on UTSA at 6 o'clock. Islanders track has its first home meet at the Dugan Family Soccer and Track Stadium on Saturday, March 15th. That will be an all-day event. And finally, the women's tennis team has a pair of big conference contests over the weekend as it travels to Stephen F. Austin in Northwestern State. The Islanders and Lady Jacks will do battle on Saturday at 1 p.m. in Nacogdoches before facing the Lady Demons on Sunday at 1 in Natchitoches. We want to thank Willis Wilson, head coach of Islander men's basketball, and Royce Chadwick, head coach of Islander women's basketball, for joining us in the locker room once again. And, of course, thank you for tuning in again this week. We also want to remind you that Merrill Center in Katy, Texas is the host of the Southland Conference Basketball Tournament, and we look forward to seeing you all there watching Islanders basketball this Thursday. For everyone here, I'm Stephen King. You've been watching Islanders Insider.